Dr. Metzler, I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on Kamala Harris's plan for a 25% unrealized capital gains tax?
Unrealized capital gains.
Yeah. So Kamala Harris is proposing a 25% unrealized capital gains tax on a net worth of over $100 million. Yeah. So How do you think, ultra rich, ultra wealthy individuals would feel about that?
I think it's very hard to measure with unrealized gains. There will be then some tricks to hide it. People will move assets out to tax havens, and so I think it is not a good idea.
If ultra wealthy individuals are, and even institutions are pulling out, their funds to go to other emerging markets and tax havens, what do you think would happen to the 99%, the middle class and the poor people that are trying to save for retirement and their 401k plans and IRAs and stuff?
Actually, they have at the end to pay more, so it's counterproductive this proposal. Better to ease to reduce the taxes than to increase it on capital. Yeah, so it is not a good idea.
They claim it's for the ultra wealthy individuals, but as you know, the income tax here in the United States was originally for ultra wealthy individuals, and it only took 2 years for the government to amend that law and make it applicable to the middle class as well as to the poorest individuals in the country. And the slippery slope fallacy, as they call it, is more of a reality in this case, especially since just a couple of years ago, Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote for hiring and funding 87,000 new IRS agents. And recent reports have found that the majority of those 87,000 new IRS agents are actually targeting the middle class opposed to the rich, which they originally claimed. What are your thoughts on the current situation with the Japanese yen carry trade?
Japan is a ticking time bomb. We have seen a drop of, I think, more than 10% in one day out of the sudden as the Japanese central bank raised the interest rate to 0.25. This was very crazy. It's the tip of the iceberg. At that day, the carry trade got a shock and run off the market and tried to reverse the trades. And we had seen this immense drop. This was the tip of the iceberg. So the carry trades are still there. The issue in Japan is central bank holds more than 50% of the government bonds
Wow.
themselves. That is the biggest investor in ETFs, and it's driving the equity market. Doing this artificially, the interest rates had been kept down for more than a decade. Ticking time bomb for the global economy is a domino to fall in the global financial meltdown. Currently, we are in the fourth phase of the global financial meltdown, as I mentioned in our last video. So we are in the mid of a global financial meltdown, the fourth phase. We are currently facing kind of a commercial real estate debt crisis and a credit crunch.
How do you think that the collapse of commercial real estate bleeds into the residential real estate market, especially with the United States Federal Reserve holding over $7 trillion in mortgage-backed securities on their balance sheet?
Within the next 2 years, 1.5 trillion loans will mature and have to be refinanced. Almost 10% of these loans are already in distress. The problem is the banks in the US are already in the crisis because of the high interest rates. They hold 514 billion of unrealized losses in the balance sheets, according.
514 billion, $500 billion.
Yeah. And 63 banks are in deep trouble. And the next quarter we will hear, I think soon, the next quarter will be reported soon. And I think it will get worse. Two things come together, the credit mortgage crisis, the high interest rates, and then also the high interests on the residential property, and also the private clients failing in paying their mortgage because of the high interest rates. So all this together is to the U.S. economy, as other economies in the West are already suffering, and that's the reason why the Fed wants to lower the interest rates, and we will see this very soon. Yeah.
Do you think the Fed may lower interest rates in September, as they're hinting at?
Yes, I think so. So, but this inflation rate is, according to my opinion, is fake. If you go to the supermarket in the US, I'm coming back from a 3-week trip on the West Coast. I was shocked in the supermarket. The prices. I haven't been in the US for 1 year, and it was crazy. The real inflation is higher than what is the official inflation rate. It's necessary to give a good reason to lower the interest rates right now. Yeah.
And I've seen things and been through things that somebody like you in your little pearly loft couldn't even relate to.